Hi, Healing Hearts. My name is Angela Artolino, and my daughter, Deanna Artolino, sent you an application for me for Healing Hearts, Tommy. I'm sending this video to explain why I feel that Tommy would be a great comfort to me and to help me heal. My story is quite long, but to make it short, I have 2 children, 30 and 32, both wonderful humans. Both are loving, kind, and supportive of me. I became caregiver, as I am the only child, to my mother, her sister, and her cousin, who both had no children of their own. I took care of my mother through the end stage of her life, during which my auntie had gotten very sick, and my cousin was doing well, but at an old age. I saw my mother through her illness and was with her on the morning she passed away. I really didn't have time to grieve for her, because not only doing all the arrangements for her, but I still had my sick auntie and my cousin, John, to look after. I continued being a caregiver for my auntie. I was with her in the house along with my daughter Deanna. When she passed away. Again, it was up to me to do all the arranging and look after my cousin as well. So again, didn't have much time for grieving. After Auntie passed away, it was just my cousin John and I. And together for a few years, we supported each other. I suffer from depression and anxiety. I have suffered this for about 30 years. My cousin, John, turned 95 in December of 2021. We celebrated his birthday, we celebrated Christmas and New Year's. And then, out of nowhere, he felt very ill. This was during COVID. And I called the ambulance, and they took him to the hospital. And this was around January, maybe 7th, and he was admitted to the hospital with COVID. Again, he's 95. He was alone. Obviously, no visitors were allowed. And during the week, I would call to check on him with the nurses, and they told me he was quickly declining. And by the 13th, I was able to get my cousin John home. At that point, he was not conscious really. And by the next morning, he passed away, with me by his side. 95 years old, who was perfectly healthy 2 weeks before. After that, my daughter said, "Mom, why don't you move in with me?" So I did that, and the two of us lived together. I'm thinking it was about maybe 3 years. And then my daughter met her future husband, and he moved in with us. And after a few months, I decided that they're starting their life together and they didn't really need old mom around. So I decided to get my own apartment, which I have never lived alone my whole life, and I'm 66 years old. So my daughter and her future husband helped me move. I did really well for the first month or two. And then the loneliness came. And the sadness. And then in March, my older daughter lost her first child at 38 weeks, which would have been my first grandchild, Rixton. That was very hard on us all, and is still very hard. And my depression and anxiety started to become worse. I did not attend his birth, which brought tension and separation between me and my older daughter, Desiree. I then became very depressed, and I was working and ended up leaving my job, not only from depression, but from acts that I felt betrayed from coworkers. And life just became overwhelming for me, and I tried to end my life. My daughter Deanna found me and got me to the hospital. And here I am today. And I believe God saved me for a reason. And my therapist felt that it would be a good idea for me to look into getting a service dog to help me feel needed again and to be a comfort to my loneliness. I thank my daughter for sending in the application for me. And I feel that Tommy would fill a great void I'm feeling in my life right now. Thank you for your devotion to helping people. And thank you for listening to my story.